Good morning, and thank you for watching this morning, wherever you are. My mother used to have an old saying. I'm sure you've heard it many, many times. She would say, "What goes around comes around." It was her way of saying that what you do for others, especially when done out of love, is never wasted. Although your deeds may not get immediate recognition, they do not go unnoticed. I read an interesting and true story some time ago that demonstrated the truthfulness of my mother's old words. Oh, yes, indeed. What goes around does come around. A poor Scottish farmer named Fleming was trying desperately to provide food for his family, working long hours out in his field day after day after day. One Sunday, while busily working on his farm, he heard a cry for help coming from a nearby marsh. He dropped his tools and ran to where the cries were coming from, and there, stuck in the mud, waist deep, was a struggling young boy, screaming, trying desperately to free himself. The old farmer ran back to his shed and grabbed a rope to throw to the boy and pulled him to safety, saving him from what could have easily been a slow and terrifying death. The next day, a beautiful, fancy carriage pulled up to Mr. Fleming's tiny little house, and out stepped an elegantly dressed nobleman who introduced himself as the father of the boy that Mr. Fleming had saved. "I want to repay you," said the nobleman. "You saved my son's life." "Oh, no, sir," the farmer replied. I can't accept payment for what I did. I was just lucky to have heard his cries for help, and I did what any decent person would do." As the two men talked, Mr. Fleming's son came to the door of the house, staring in awe at this rich visitor speaking with his father. "Is that your son?" the nobleman asked. "Oh, yes, this is Alex," the farmer replied. "But today's Monday. Why is he not in school today with all the other children?" the nobleman asked. "Well," Mr. Fleming replied, "he should be, but the truth is we can't afford the books and the fees." The nobleman thought for a moment and said, "I'll make you a deal. Let me provide him with the same education that my own son will enjoy. If that young man is anything like his father, I have no doubt that he's going to grow up to be someone we will both be very proud of." Well, the old farmer agreed and thanked him profusely. Alex attended the very best schools in England, and several years later, he graduated from St. Mary's Medical School in London. Alex Fleming had grown up and made quite a name for himself as a biologist and researcher, and in 1921, he discovered an antibiotic that proved to be effective in curing many types of viruses. He named this antibiotic penicillin. In 1944, Queen Elizabeth II knighted Sir Alexander Fleming, the winner of the Nobel Peace Prize for Medicine, for his discovery of penicillin. So whatever happened to that young man who was pulled out of that marsh? Well, some years later, he came down with a very severe case of pneumonia. And what was it that saved his life this time? You probably already guessed it. Penicillin. Oh, I may have forgotten to mention the name of that nobleman. It was Lord Randolph Churchill. And the name of that young man was, well, I bet you've already guessed that one too. Sir Winston Churchill. I've said so many times that we don't know the impact a single act of kindness can have on another person's life. In this case, one act of kindness changed not only the history of medicine, but the entire freedom of England. What kindness can you show towards someone today? You might change the world for tomorrow. I pray that you have a blessed day today. Each morning, look to this Facebook page for more encouraging videos that will help to lift your spirits. And as always, I encourage you to leave a comment down below and share this video with your friends. Thank you. And God bless you as you go through your day today.